everyone. Happy Friday afternoon. TGIF, it's Friday. I missed you guys on Monday. It threw me for a loop this week. I had to take Tuesday off because I felt totally out of sorts. So I hope you guys have had a great trading day, great trading week. I found it was an amazing week. If you guys do have any questions on my YouTube Live or Ticker Talker Live or Twitch or Facebook on Ticker Talker, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm happy to go ahead and answer them for you. If you guys are new to me or new to following me anywhere, this is where you can follow me. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, my website, tjandtrade.com, and also, of course, here on Ticker Talker. So let's go ahead and do a very quick review too. You can always learn more about the dark pool in the training pit. If you guys ever want to learn more about that, I will be talking about it today as well. And our disclaimer, in trading, there are varying degrees of risk. All of these presentations that I do here are for educational purposes. You always want to go ahead and trade with proper risk management, as there are varying degrees of risk in all sorts of trading instruments, and no past performance is indicative of future performance. All right, now that that's out of the way, I wanted to go over a really quick explanation. I know there are some brand new traders that are out there, so I wanted to talk about some crucial information in trading stocks. You want to know where that support is, and vice versa, you want to know where that resistance is. So really, a support is going to be like a floor, right? So that floor is going to give you that area of support that you want it to stop. You don't want it to drop below. So if it doesn't drop below there, then you could put your stop potentially just below that support area. If it does not drop below there, great. That is a great place to get in, close to it potentially, and leave your stop just below it. Now, sometimes you'll see, like today, that maybe the algorithms will go ahead and see those stops and they take out that support. But another way to think of this is, hey, the price action's coming down and we have some buyers that are going to stop it right here at the support level. Then they take it up, some sellers step in, they take it back down, and then we've got more buyers that are going to go ahead and stop it there again. And then, that third time that the sellers are taking it down, no more buyers, right? The sellers are winning. It comes back to basic economics, supply and demand. People are wanting to get rid of it, therefore the price is dropping. Then it comes down, and many times you'll see that former support will now turn into a resistance. So what do I mean by a resistance? Well, a resistance would be something like that glass ceiling or actual ceiling above you, and it's going to be that price at which the sellers are going to stop that price action, right? So you're going to have it coming up, right? A little bit of resistance here, it pulls back, and then there's a new form of resistance. Hey, lots of sellers here. Maybe it's a 50-cent increment. Maybe this is $10 down here at support. Maybe this is $10.50 or $10.25, and then it bounces between $10.25, 10, and then it slowly goes back up, tests it again. Oh, nope, the sellers are still in. Oh, they still have more to sell right there. And then they want to go ahead, they take it back down. Oh, they get in, and then the buyers are getting in, and they take it through. There's more power on the buying end this time than there is on the selling end. So you can see that you don't necessarily want to get in just before that resistance because it could pull back against you. You're going to have a better chance or a higher probability if you wait for it just to break that resistance. And then you get in as close as possible to that resistance. And then, maybe this is that 10.50 mark again. That could turn into new resistance and it continues on. So it's never just that straight up or straight down price action. Now let's go ahead and let's look at the SPY. I did put up some slides, but we will go and look at the charts as well. I'm just going to see. I'm trying to get to my YouTube up here because I don't see that it is streaming. So I just want to see. Just reset that today. So let's go forward. All right, so our SPY analysis here. Right? We've got the SPY, and like I said in the past, I said, hey, guess what? If we are above this box, right, then I'm going to be bullish. You guys see it, right? So we had 3 weeks of this volume and we are above it. So we are bullish at this time. Yes, we came up. I took off all my moving averages because I know people said, hey, it's really busy, but we do have the 200 simple moving average and the 120, I believe it is. I'll put it back on my chart when we look at the live charts. So right now we have this area down below that's roughly 301 at the bottom of the box, and at the top of the box up at 308 area. We'll look at it again on the live chart. So that's the new area that they're somewhat building a position. If we go above that, if we break above it today, guess what? We're probably going to be setting highs. We'll be going up here. We'll be testing this trend line to the upper side, 311 area, or even greater. If we break back down, we'll probably come back down and test the top of the box roughly at 298 area. Also, 2 major holdings. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. I do look at the holdings of the SPY and the QQQ to see what's going to happen to the index. When those top stocks are performing, if they're all up and the SPY is lagging, usually there's something that's lying, right? We had top 20% of the SPY a couple days ago was down and the SPY was still being held up. So one of the two is not being truthful, whether it's the stocks that they're trying to get in more to take it up higher, or whether it is going to be the SPY in which the really big players in the market are looking to go ahead and sell off more and take it down. Today will likely be a very volatile day. Right now on Apple, we do have this upper trend line that we are just hovering above. And we have this trend line from the lows here for the past couple weeks that we are just below. So really a little bit of a battle there for Apple. If we do go ahead and break up above this 323 area, I think we could very easily see 328, 330, 335 to the upside for Apple. Looking at Microsoft as well, we have this downward trend line, and you can see we've had these selling wicks that are just selling it off right there. So looking at it for that reason, it's very interesting to keep these two on watch because they could very easily manipulate the market there. All right, let me go ahead and pull up our stock charts so we can go ahead and check them all out. Okay, right? So again, let's look at the SPY. And I'll turn on my simple moving averages. So they go ahead and have those. Where are they? Right here. Right? Start to get busy. Here we go. All right. So we bring it in. We've got our 200 simple moving average. We broke it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, came back to it, and we've tested it again today. 299.81, low of 342 cents, right? But for the most part, also, let's look at our weekly here, because we have a bit of a hanging man on the weekly. We did yesterday, at least. No, now it's more just of a doji. It's like a little smiley face there, right? So we've got a doji, and look at that. We're also testing the 50 simple moving average on the weekly. We are holding above it. I know it looks a little busy. I'm trying to get TradingView to change those alerts because I've got some trades set up. Full disclosure, I am in some SPY calls because I am bullish above this area. I did recommend that, or I didn't recommend it, excuse me. I did say that if it goes above that area, that I would be bullish because we are above this box. And again, that's at 293.99. Our 20 simple moving average on the weekly is 294. So if we do break down below 299, potential test down to 294. If we do break above, I personally believe we'll have another test up here, the 308 area. Now this is a trend line. When we go back on the daily chart, we're going to have to back it up a little bit. All right. Let's go back. Let's look at the 1 year chart really quickly. So you can see here we were hitting the tops back in September, and then it acted a bit as a resistance right here, and it could potentially be another point of resistance for us to test on the way up. So that one, I did have it grayed out and turned it back on because we are coming up there. Right now we are testing that 200 simple moving average, almost like I knew, right? And so there we go. We've tested it. Now, if we also go really quickly and we look at the 30-second chart, is there volume coming into it? That would be so awesome for you guys to see the volume coming in live. Wow, look at that volume right there. Do you think somebody was buying on the 200 simple moving average right when we hit there? You guys want to pay attention to the volume. Look at it. It's building as we speak. Now, many algorithms and many algorithms are set up to buy and sell on these moving averages. And that's so cool that you guys got to see that in real time. So we have this area right here. Okay, it came down, it touched 299.76. And let's see, potentially if there was a larger print that just came in on 299 for today. Really quickly on that. Looks like not at this time, or it hasn't been printed as of yet. So when we look at that, you start to see, all right, so volume came in here. Hey, I want to know if it's going to break below. I just started paying attention to the 30-second chart for this exact reason, to see the algorithms buying or selling with volume, right? So right now, we can say, hey, it went down, it touched that 200 mark, boom, volume came into it. Potentially, they are bullish above the 200 SMA. That's not something out of the ordinary for something like that to happen, because many people will trade off of the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. We are testing both of them now on the daily and on the weekly, so that we are in a crucial area. Now, if we're going to go ahead and close this week above the 50 simple moving average and the 200 simple moving average, I am feeling fairly confident that we are going to go ahead and hit that 308 area. So let's pull it back to our daily chart. Right? You can see it came down and it touched that 299.56 even. So it came all the way down there and it touched it. So right now, we're still in that limbo phase, right? But potential move up here, we break out above that 303.80, that top of this box right here, then we could have a nice move up. Maybe we'll go ahead and test up here, the 306 area. If we break the 306, potentially on up to 308.90 today. All right. Now let's look at Apple as well. Apple, like I said, a major player. Again, when I took that shot, oh, there we go, SPY is moving on up. I'm not sure if I'm competing with Trump. I'm sorry if I am, but I'm hearing all sorts of alerts going off. Okay, so Apple, let's go back to a 30-second chart really quickly. See, did we just also have major buying volume on Apple? Interesting. Yes, we did. Let's go really quickly and check Microsoft. Usually this time of day tends to be quiet, but today with Trump, and look, same time, big buying on Microsoft. So keeping all of this in mind, you're starting to see, excuse me, I take that back. It's not necessarily big buying. I say buying because we are above that high volume candlestick. And so being above that would lead me to believe that it's buying. Now, if we drop below this candlestick, it would lead me to believe that it's selling, if that makes sense to you. So only because we are above that high volume right now, am I that is buying volume. That's the reason why I'm saying buying volume. Keeping it simple, right? And I also am releasing a moving averages video today as well on YouTube, so check that one out. Awesome stuff that's happening. And let's check out the Qs, right? Qs yesterday was the weakest. Let's see, did we have buying volume there too? Or volume that came in? Yes, we did. And we are above it for now, right? So let's look at our daily chart on the Qs. All right, so we have this bit of a down channel right here, right? This is top, and that was back from earlier in the year. Let's go back 3 months, maybe 6 months. I should have just done year to date. Let's do year to date. So I drew this from the top here to this top, right? So you can see that, and we are respecting it as a upper trend limit for now. I also drew another one down here to the top of this bounce that we had, right? And for now, it looks like we are following, this is the 20 simple moving average, also the midline of the Bollinger Bands if you leave it on the generic settings. And it looks like right now it came down, almost touched it. We touched it here, bounced, almost came down to the 20, but we pulled up. Here, came down to the 20, bounced as well, down, back up, bounced as well. And now we're sort of stuck here, but much like Apple, right? We've got this little area right here, maybe even down just a bit lower. I'll extend it over 2 candles. We are in an area of consolidation or distribution, right? So if we go ahead and we break above the, let's set a little alert there, since that other one did so nicely on, let's go up for 233.80. All right, if we go above 233.80, we're going to have a nice potential move, right? We've got 237.47 as the high of the year. I would say that we'd probably have enough momentum to go up there and potentially test it again, right? We would have that, next would probably be right over here, 235, and then on up to 236, and on up to 237.50 after that point. Again, when we look back at the weekly chart, right, we aren't hovering on the 200 simple moving average here. We are hovering around all-time highs for the Qs, a lot of technology stocks. Let's go over here. Let's pull up the Q holdings, right? So I do this for myself to check it all out. Hey, what's going on? What's going on with our top 20%, our top 20 holdings? Tesla's above 800. We've got Adobe that's heading up. Netflix was down on the week. NVIDIA was down on the week. They're all green today. Intel. We've also got Google, Amazon, Apple. We also don't know what's necessarily going to be happening in the communications area. You know, what's going to be happening? We just had the social media order put into place yesterday. Trump will be talking about China today. How everything is starting to slowly open up. As much as we say that this economy is in such a bubble at the moment, we still have to trade the charts technically. And if you go back last week, I did pop up the FOMC minutes where they talked about the Fed and how they are propping up the market somewhat, right? They're buying mortgage-backed securities, so they are actually propping it up at the moment. So if it does get really nasty for the market, it could get really nasty for the US overall, in my opinion, because the Fed would then be going so deep in debt, just in my personal opinion. So also potentials to look at might be the gold and the gold sector, GDX. On the weekly chart, you can see that we pulled back. We found a bit of support here and could be moving to the upside. That might be a pullback to buy potentially right there. Let's turn on some EMAs here. So the gold, silver, metals right now could have a potential move, right? Look, we're hanging out right at that 4 EMA on the weekly chart. When we go to our daily, we've also broken this downward trend. Yesterday was the first day that we closed above it. We are battling some moving averages right here. And when we look at silver as well, it was on the active movers list this morning, right? I had it on my watch list. It is available on Ticker Tocker. I do have my channel that I do live every morning on Ticker Tocker, where I go ahead and I build my watch list for the day that I send out as a newsletter. And so this was on my newsletter, and you can see, hey, this one, if it broke above 1658, it was a potential move up to the upside. Now, you know, there's going to be that strong resistance up here around 1690, but the whole sector as a whole, there's AG as well. AG is also in the silver arena. There's also AGG. There's also PAAS. So that the whole sector as a whole for metals are to the upside. Actually, there's NAK. That was a copper one this morning. It ran up and then pulled back a little bit. However, it might find that 4 might pull back up and it might continue more to the upside with the whole metal sector. Let's go back and also look at this on a 5-year chart and just see where we are on that 5-year chart, right? So we might have a nice move on up here to 189, test that moving average. You can see it came up and it tested it before it pulled back, and that was end of September. So we've broken above the 200 SMA on the weekly as well. So checking out the metal sectors. If the US dollar does start devaluing, then potentially the metal sectors could go up. People might turn to it and say, hey, you know, we might have this universal currency. I don't trade Bitcoin, but it might go something to an electronic currency. You know, we already deal a lot with electronic currencies, with dealing with credit cards. You know, I'm up in Canada where you can tap to go ahead and pay. A lot of phones you can tap now. So you are dealing with electronic currencies. It just happens to be a US dollar as that electronic currency. So it's another viewpoint to look at it. And the Fed is in charge of that dollar. So what happens if the Fed devalues that dollar by pumping all this into the economy? Where is that value going to lie, right? Potentially in a tangible product that is a commodity. So just a thought on that forefront. So let's check out Amazon as well. See where we are on the weekly chart. So we are still riding it up. We're testing those moving averages. We had this downtrend here, however, it bounced above it. And if we can close above this upward trend line here, then maybe we'll head back up 2,500, even on up to 2,800 up here. All right, guys. So are there any questions that are out there? Zach and Mike, I'm going to have to connect with you guys. It doesn't seem like my streaming went through on YouTube, but that's no worries. Do you guys have any questions for me? Is there anyone out there that has any questions? If you do, just put them right in the chat. I'll also put this up for anyone that's still, there we go. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to go ahead and answer the questions. Let's see. Mike, is that? No? All right. No questions for today. My little ones just got home, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up a little bit early today. If you guys ever have any questions, you guys can email me, Jane@CJandTrade. If you want to learn more about trading around the dark pools, come on over and visit us at the Training Pit. I'm always accessible if you guys have questions, so just put them in the comments or go ahead and shoot me an email, probably the easiest as a mom of 2 with them home in quarantine. So I'd love to help you profit in the market. So check out my Ticker Tocker channel, and I look forward to helping you profit, carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Thank you.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
The Ticker Tocker app brings the powerful trading technology tools of the Ticker Tocker desktop platform into the hands of its users who are on the go. Ticker Tocker connects novice and advanced traders with industry leaders who are providing real-time trading content throughout market hours every single day. The Ticker Tocker app allows traders to follow and get real-time push notifications of trading leaders' trade ideas, all while on the go. Ticker Tocker leaders host interactive live trading rooms which provide all-day coverage of their trading ideas and methods seamlessly with social chat for real-time feedback from the expert community of Ticker Tocker's powerful user base. Set up and/or subscribe to automated trading strategies to mimic the decisions made by trusted professionals automatically. Powering up your trading AI has never been this easy. We focus on intuitive trading efficiency so you can focus on what matters most in your life. The world's most powerful trading technology is now in the palm of your hands.
Let's bring in Stephen Kalajian, who's going to help